Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel once again. So as you guys all know that the interlude season of season 11 have ended and season 11 again have started. It started on 1st of June, 1 p.m. PD timing, but by then it was already 2nd June for my local region. So this is going to be the first video in the season 11, and the current leagues that are active over here is the Great League and Great League Remix. So the Great League Remix, so I'll be taking a look into the Great League Remix once again because the top 20 Pokemons are banned. That was used most by the ace players and above. So surprisingly, Registeel over here is not banned. I think because since it have got access to Zap Cannon, which is kind of a legacy move, so that is the reason people are not using it very often, because some people does not have access to it as well. So a Registeel over here is just going to be so overpowered in this meta of Great League Remix, and I'll not pop up the screen for the top metamons for this Great League Remix Cup over here, but I can tell that it's the first being Registeel along with Diggersby, Vigoroth, Lickitung. That's what the top Pokemons are. So as you guys can see, it is being the normal and steel typing, so that is the reason I think fighting types is going to dominate. Like fighting types will be there in some of my opponent's team as well, so fighting type will be used over here very often. So but I don't want to counter that, rather I want to counter Registeel over here because it is so much overpowered in this meta, along with the moveset of Focus Blast and Zap Cannon. So that is the reason I'm using a triple counter to Registeel over here. That is being my lead with A.Wak over here, along with my safe swap of Vigoroth, which is actually rocking Body Slam along with Bulldoze and the fast move of Counter. And my closure over here is my own Registeel over here for this team team in Remix Cup. So apart from the Resist 2 Registeel over here, it is kind of a well-rounded balanced team as well, because A.Wak is so good in this meta because all these Pokemons like dark types are banned. It's Mandibuzz, then Umbreon, along with Azumarill, these are banned, so that is the reason it have so much play in this meta as well. But unfortunately I could not use a shadow version of it because for me personally, I do not have a shadow version built up yet, because I am having access to that garbage move of Frustration because I did not TM it away. So that is the reason I could not get hold to it. So it's kind of a very unfortunate scenario from my perspective, but nevertheless I'll invest elite charge TM later on where I can remove the Frustration. But apart from that, I have got a Vigoroth, who is kind of a really great safe swap in this meta as well, because generally it is a very good generalist for the cups, because it have got so spammy moveset of Counter and Body Slam, which is really good and have a great coverage. Along with which I have got my Registeel, which just adds so much bulk to my team over here and just keeps it rounded as well for the coverage and the bulk in as well. So for this team, I have got a very decent rating of B, and B over here, along with a really great thread score of 446, which is really nice for this GL Remix meta. So I'll not be elongating the introduction much more, rather I'll be quickly going into the battles, and I'll be showing and sharing these battles with you guys, and let's check out how this team performed in the Remix meta over here. So now moving into the very first battle of season 11, I thought of using Spice, but I'll be going forward with this team, which is really good. And since it's the very early season, very early in the season, I think I'll be picking some spike picks in this battle. See over here, as you guys can already see, my opponent is actually running Sunny cast form over here. Beg your pardon. Yeah, I think it's it's a Sunny cast form. I I I I confused it with Sunny Cherem rather. So which is fine because now I can go for my neutral fire spins over here, and I'll be going for the super effective bone club of my own, and they went for the fire blast. Okay, so fire blast is super hard hitting move, but since my A.Wak does resist it, I could survive that as well. So now I can get shield advantage over here along with switch. So they comes back with their own confusion Galadian Slowbro, to which I come back with my own Registeel over here because it have got access to Focus Blast, Sludge Bomb, Psychic. So I'll be shielding the first Sludge Bomb in case it would have been a Focus Blast. So that is the reason I shield up the first Sludge Bomb, and now after I threw the first Zap Cannon, which in turn give the final shield from my opponent, and now I'll be letting the charge move go through because it cannot be a Focus Blast. Rather, it is a Psychic and it is debuffed as well. To which I will be going for my next Zap Cannon over here, which will be enough to get, which is not enough to get the knockout, but it puts it very low. To which they comes back with a Drift Beam over here. So for Drift Beam, it have got access to Ice Event along with Shadow Ball. So I was actually anticipating the Shadow Ball from that kind of range, but they went for the Ice Event over here. To which I get my attack dropped. But now I'll be going for the Zap Cannon, which does land over here, so doing almost enough to get the knockout, but they threw once again. So this is going to be one more ice event because it was four hexes over here, to which I will be taking it onto my Registeel over here, and I will be getting the farm down with my Vigoroth. And now they comes back with a very low Galarian Slowbro, which will be enough to get the knockout with the Body Slam, and I do get the win for the first battle in this remix for season 11 as well. So now moving into the next battle over here and picking up a yet again good lead over here with Pinsir over here, and he swaps back into something which is the pre-vault form of Primarina. I'm not sure what it is called. So now they will be going for the first move, which is going to be the Disarming Voice. Okay, to which I'll be safe swapping into my own Vig over here, to which I get the first shield from my opponent, to which I'll be going for my next Body Slam, which goes unshielded, and I do get the switch over here also. So I maintain correct alignment along with shield advantage over here, and now they throws over here. So I'm quite sure that they are having access to X-Scissor and Super Power, which both are resisted, and now they swaps back into something which I believe is the Sunny Cherem. Yeah, it is the Sunny Cherem right now, to which I get the final shield from my opponent, and now I'll be going for my next Shadow Bone, which will be neutral in this case, but it is not enough to get the knockout. But since I got the defense debuff, so I will be getting the farm down, but they threw over here. So let's see. It is a Solar Beam over here, which does kind of nukes me, and I could easily farm down with my own. I could easily farm down with my own Registeel, which have got access to one more shield over here, and now I'll be going for my Zap Cannon, which will be enough to get the knockout for this Pinsir, and indeed they went for this game over here in the second battle also. So that was a really great game. GG's to my opponent. So since these are the very early battles in the season, so you guys will be seeing very much like the spicy picks, and now I have got a regional Pokemon over here in my opponents, which I am not sure what it is called. It's some kind of a I'll not try to pronounce it out. So let's call it a Pharaoh over here because it is regional to Egypt, which I am quite sure. And they now swaps back into their own Jolteon over here. So I get both my shields from my opponent with the Bone Club and the Shadow Bone over here, and now I safe swap into my own Vigoroth over here to get the counter down damage along with the Body Slam to get the knockout for my opponent's Jolteon. And let's see what they have in their back. So they have got a Bite Crobat over here, which is not great because they can easily go for the farm down for my Vig and for my A.Wak over here, but since I was loaded on energy, they could not farm me down. Rather, they comes back with their own Farah over here, and they will be getting the hit with their own my body slam over here, to which it puts it very low, and I can easily farm down with my A.Wak over here. So that will be a great game for my opponent. So now moving into the next game, I'm picking up a really tough lead over here along with the Haunter. So Haunter, it is having access to Shadow Punch along with Shadow Claw. So I cannot stay in that matchup with my A.Wak over here. So that rather than staying in that matchup, I will be switching back into my own Vig, to which they counters me with their own Wigglytuff. So for Wigglytuff, I do have a really great matchup with my Vigoroth and my A.Wak over here, because it does resist everything what they will be throwing. But since I do have access to Fire Spin and Bone Club, I can do neutral damage with that to this Wigglytuff, to which they throws over here. So since they are running Ice Beam, I will not be shielding it because it is resisted, and now they throws over here. So this is going to be the first Shadow Punch, which I have to shield over here because it will be enough to get the knockout, because now they swap back into their own Mandibuzz over here. So for Mandibuzz, I do have a really hard counter to it, which is my Registeel, because Mandibuzz does not want to face Registeel because all the moves are either resisted or neutral over here. And since Registeel is such a tanky Pokemon, it can handle multiple Dark Pulses along with Foul Play as well, to which I go for the first Zap Cannon, which will be enough to get it very low, and I think I will be able to get to the next Focus Blast, outpacing it to the next Dark Pulse, which will not be enough to get the knockout either. But now I'll be going for my next Focus Blast, which will be enough to get the knockout, and I have to switch in over here right now because I don't want them to farm me down, and they should have got enough energy for two back-to-back Shadow Punches. So that is the reason I swap back into my own A.Wak and get ahead of energy to throw the first Shadow Bone over here, which will be enough to get the knockout, and in turn giving me the win for the fourth battle here as well in the first set. So moving into the next battle of the first set over here, they comes with their own Shadow Scissor over here, to which they swaps back into their own Granbull. So for Granbull, I do have a really hard counter to it, which is my own Registeel, and it does resist the Charm along with the Crunches, but it have got access to I think Close Combat, which my Registeel can tank one as well, to which I could easily knock out the Granbull over here, and now they comes back with a Toxic Croak and farms me down. This is really great play from my end, because now they do have access to multiple moves, but they're actually running Dynamic Punch and not Mud Bomb. So I'm quite shocked, because I thought this will be a really tough situation for me, because Toxic Croak is a kind of a core breaker for my A.Wak and my Vigoroth over here, because it have got access to Mud Bomb along with counter. But since they are running Dynamic Punch, I'll be letting the next back-to-back charge moves go through, to which I'll be going for the next Bone Club, which will be enough to get the knockout here as well. And let's see what my opponent does come back with. So my opponent does come back with their lead over here, which is going to be the Scissor, but to which I take the Scissor very easily, and I can easily come back with my Vigoroth over here to get the knockout with the counter damage, and I do easily win the game here as well for the first set of the new season over here. So for this first set, it was a 5-0, but I'll not be very much convinced with these wins, because as you guys can see, people are running very spicy teams, and maybe the opponents that are coming in, that are matched up, are not very much familiar with GPL. They are very new to it, so I'll just let it go. So to which I'll be starting off with the next set over here, and I pick up a really great lead with Granbull, to which they save swaps into their own Snorlax over here. So for Snorlax, I do have a perfect counter to it, which is my own Vig, because the leaks are double resisted rather, by my Vigoroth over here while I'm doing super active damage with my counters. To which they will be going for the back-to-back body slams, which I let it go, and I'll be going for the next body slam of my own. And I believe this was a CMP tie. I think so. This was a CMP tie, which it is not. But I think they went for the super power from that kind of range. So since I get both the shields from my opponent end, now I'll be going for the next body slam, which is very much favorable for me, because any kind of chip damage to something that they are coming back with is really great. So now I think I'll be waiting for my opponent to come back, because I think they have either lost connection or maybe they have just switched out from this battle. But still, since I have to end this battle over here, I will be going for the moves rather on in this battles over here, and let's see what my opponent does come back with. So I believe they're not in this matchup, so I will not quit it, but rather I'll be going to throw the next bulldoze to get the knockout, and that will be a win, which I'll not take into consideration. But rather, since I have to complete the match, I'll go on with it, and let's see. So I'm very much eager to use my next team, which will be a kind of theme team, and maybe it will be a theme or meme team, but I'm not quite sure. So I haven't used this team yet, but still I'll be using it and I'll be sharing with you guys. So with that, let's move into the next battle, and I've got a lead of Excadrill over here in this meta. So for Excadrill, I do have fire spins from my A.Wak, to which they swaps out into their own Dragonite over here. So for Dragonite, I do have a countered to Dragonite here as well, because they are actually flying and dragon, which my steel type will resist over here, to which I'll be taking the Draco Meteor over here comfortably, and I'll be going for the next Zap Cannon, which will be enough to get the knockout for this Dragonite over also. To which now they comes back with their own Toxicroak over here again. So this is kind of a tough scenario for me, because Toxicroak is kind of a core breaker for both my A.Wak and my Vigoroth, to which I will be letting the first Mud Bomb go through, because they cannot counter me down from that kind of range, to which I will be able to get to the next Bone Club, which will be enough to get it very low. And since I got both the shield from my opponent end, I'll be saving up I'll be saving onto my A.Wak over here, and I'll be going for the Bone Club, and after I land it, I will be going to switch into my own Vigoroth over here, which have got two shields over here, and I'll be shielding everything that comes in. So I will be going for the next body slam over here, which will be, I think, enough to get the knockout for this squishy Toxicroak over here, and that will be enough to get the win for the second battle, for the second set for this video as well. So now moving into the next battle, once again I pick up a really bad lead over here with the Politoed over here, to which I'll be switching out into my own Vigoroth over here, to which they comes back with a Registeel, which is really surprising, because I can go for the bulldoze, to which I do get the shield. So for which I think I'll be shielding up for the first time, so which unfortunately is the Zap Cannon, which will be enough to get my defense drop, beg your pardon, my attack drop. And now this is the Focus Blast, which I did go, and it will be kind of a really bad mistake from my end, to which now I try to farm down the Registeel, but they reach to their next Zap Cannon, which is not really great, because it will be chunking so much health from my A.Wak over here also. So that is not a kind of a great thing. So to which they comes back with their own Mandibus. So I don't have a really great scenario right now, because I will be going for the Zap Cannon first, but since I believe Politoed have got access to the Legacy Earthquake, which I think I might have to call, rather I have to call over here, but they went for the first Weather Ball, to which I think I did correctly. But now, since I called it once again, and now they went for the Earthquake, so which is not really great, because I don't have enough HP right now to get to back-to-back Zap Cannons, one for the Politoed and one for the Mandibuzz over also, but since I did not call the Earthquake correctly, so that is the win condition for my opponent and lose con for me. So to which I come back with my A.Wak and I did throw a Bone Club, which is kind of useless, and I recognize my fate and I top left the game over here, and that will be a first loss for the season 11 over here. So now moving into the fourth battle over here in the second set, and I pick up a middle lead of A.Wak, to which I will be going for the first Shadow Bone over here, to which I think I will be getting the first shield from my opponent here as well. And now I will be trying to mirror up on shields over here, and let's see what my opponent does try to do over here, to which I think I will be going for my next Shadow Bone, but I lose CMP tie over here, to which I will be letting the next Shadow Bone rather go through, and I can easily survive it, which is fine. And since I will be reaching my Shadow Bone of my own, I will be quickly swapping out into my own Vigoroth and counter the A.Wak down resisted damage, and let's see what my opponent does have onto their back. So they have got a Machamp, so I am very much like happy over here, because they comes back with their Machamp over here, because Shadow Machamp would be a really tough option for my Registeel over here, and I do a CMP tie, which is really nice, because this is going to be the best case scenario where I can come back with my Registeel and get the farm down on Shadow Machamp, to which I think my opponent my opponent does quit over here, because they might have got something which is really weak Registeel, so there is a reason they top left the game in this scenario. So now I'll be going ahead into the next battle and pick up a lead of Machamp with my A.Wak. So for Machamp, it is kind of a great good lead, because I'll be resisting the cross chops and the counters, but I have to look out for the rock slide, to which now I'll be switching back into my Vigoroth over here, because they switched into their own gradient over here. So for gradient, it is also kind of a really really tough thing for me, because my A.Wak doesn't want to face this gradient, so it is kind of a really great thing that they comes back with their gradient. So now from this kind of range, I think they will be coming back with their own Machamp over here, and they will be easily getting the farm down with the counters, to which now I'll be surely coming back with my A.Wak after I burn down the switch clock over here, and I'll be going for the first Shadow Bone. So this is kind of a really not a great call, because I think Shadow Machamp does end up shielding everything, because it is such a squishy Pokemon. So that is the reason I should have got for my Bone Club, rather than I should have not gone for the Shadow Bone. So to which I shielded up the rock slide, and now since I thought that they will be going for the next rock slide yet again, but they baited with cross chop. So now this is not a great thing for me, so now I have to catch the next rock slide onto my Registeel, which I do perfectly over here, because that is kind of a win condition for me right now, so I can easily get the farm down with my Registeel, and let's see what my opponent does have onto their backline. So my opponent does have got a really hard wall to my Registeel over here, because which is going to be the Galvantula, because Galvantula does not have a really great matchup with the Registeel, because it can throw neutral discharges, but it will be not enough to get the knockout. Since my Registeel was low, it will be getting the knockout here as well. So to which I come back with my own A.Wak, which is kind of healthy, and I'll be going for the farm down for this Galvantula, and they comes back with their very low Machamp, which will be going down with the fire spin damage, and that will be all for the second set also. So for this team, as I've already mentioned, this team is a well balanced, rounded up team, which can easily get you wins for this meta over here. So along with the coverage and bulk, this team performed really well for me, and if you guys are using this team, to let me know how it is working out for you. And that will be all for this video, and see you again in the next one. Till then, peace.